Welcome back for another tutorial. Today we're going to do just the basics of redstone. So redstone for beginners, let's say. Alright, so you've probably seen this stuff here, redstone dust. So that's what it looks like on a single block. You can make a line out of it. This is basically wire in Minecraft. So that carries a signal or power that redstone generates. The redstone dust is just a wire. Now, in order to do anything with it, you need to power it in some way. So a redstone torch is a real basic, it's like a battery. It will power a redstone dust. And then you could do something with it on the other end. So in this case, let's do let's just do a piston. All right, so you see there's two states for a piston. It's on and off. So we can do the redstone dust leading up to it, so that's the wire to power it, and then we power it and it turns on. So it is on, extended. And you take it away and it retracts. Now another thing you can do is you can do a lever to power it. That way you just turn it on and turn it off. So the lever's kind of, figure it has like a battery in it, and it's already built in. All you got to do is flip the switch and flip the switch. Now another thing you could do is a button. And the button works a little bit differently. So it turns on and then it turns back off. Turns on and then it turns right back off. So it just powers it just for a moment. Another thing you need to know about redstone dust, or redstone signals in general, is your signal can go a maximum of 15 spaces. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Now if we did a 16th one and we put our lever down, it wouldn't power all the way. It wouldn't quite get there. But if we take one out and put the lever there, it works. Just like that. Now if you need to go further than 15, that's 15 there. If we want to go a little bit further, we need to add another component, redstone repeater. Now basically, that's like a relay. That relays the power for another 15 spaces, for another 15 blocks. And it does. You could do a couple other things with it. It delays a little bit. So this lever shows how much to delay it. I'm not going to go into all the details about how that works right this second. But now, so that was 15 there. And we've got, so that's 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. And we're going to put a lever down. And it works. But if we took that out, it would be too far. But we can put that in. And if we delay it, not to get into too much detail, but you can see the delay there. It goes on and then it goes on. That's, you can delay the signal. Alright, so that's the basics of redstone dust for the most part. Another thing to keep in mind is another weird thing that happens is it can go up it can go up and over. Let's just turn this on. We'll just leave it on. But it can go through blocks too. So this goes directly in to that block. So that block is now powered, and it's adjacent to that, so it sends a signal across. Another thing you can do is you can just go up and over. Now in this case, the block let's do this here just to show you. All right. So the block is powered. So the block can work on all sides there. All right, let's just take these off here. We're going to take that off. That's still powered. But now let's try a glass block. And take that out too. So the glass block is an insulator. So if you put a glass block there, it's not going to carry the signal. It doesn't go through it. So if you need to, say you need to power this with that, but you want to make sure that something over here doesn't get powered, you can put glass in between, and it won't transmit across. Now, there's a whole bunch of other things you can do with it. There's the redstone observer. So now we're talking about different ways to get signal in. All right, so what this observer does is it reads any block changes. So this block right here in front of me, let me put a block right there. Anything that happens in this block area, it will read that and send a signal out the back side right here. So when I take that block away, you see the signal go. And I've put a block in front of it, it creates a signal. Now, it will read a signal. If anything disturbs that space, any block changes. So if we extend that, it creates a signal. If we retract it, it creates a signal. Another thing to remember is if we move the observer itself, it will create a signal. I should have used a sticky piston there, shouldn't I? All right, let's use a sticky piston there so it retracts too. And we'll just use a button this time. All right, so we're going to hit that button. It's going to pull that back and creates a signal. Every time it comes back, it creates a signal. Boom, just like that. Now, if we had another piece of redstone dust right there, it would create a signal both ways. This is how you create signals to move a slime block flying machine. You use the observer to create a signal. So every time the observer moves, it creates a signal. Now you can put let's not use those anymore. Okay, so you can put one of these on the side of something and it works like that. Now it doesn't transmit through. It doesn't transmit through the block. You see? But this takes up this whole block, so it powers that. Because the torch, even though it's on the side of that, it takes up this whole block. But it doesn't transmit into the block. Now, you might think that because it's powering the block, it would power the dust coming out of it, but it doesn't. But you can put it up and over, and it will work just fine. It doesn't transmit through the block, but it powers the block so that it will power anything next to it that's expecting to receive a redstone signal. It takes a little bit to get used to that, but that's the way they work. There's a few other things that you can use the redstone to power, but we're not going to get into those today. We were just wanted to talk about the signal. So that's basically it's wire. It's going to transmit the power, the redstone power, across. And you can get into all kinds of fancy stuff, and so you kind of think of it more of a signal. But in just the basics, it's easier just to call it a wire. It's just transmitting the power, not a signal. And that's the basics of redstone dust. If you've enjoyed this video, come back and watch some more. Have a nice day.